This is a Scrap Your Stash Wednesday, so I'll be working on a card, and with Mother's Day right around the corner, I will be doing a Mother's Day card. And I'll be showing you some new products too, or at least one. So the papers that I have chosen are Daisy Meadows papers. I have, of course, White Daisy, but then I have Peacock, Mint, and I think this is Ballerina. So, actually, I think Daisy Meadows calls her Peach, but I'm using Ballerina. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start trimming my paper. Now, this is going to be a fly by the seat of my pants kind of card. I don't really know what I'm going to do yet completely. I do know that I want a background of mint, so this is going to be, let's do 4 by 4 by 5 1/4. 4 by 5 1/4. Okay, there's my background. Let's do another background. I think what I want to do is I kind of want to layer these. So let's just do 2 backgrounds. And this one I'm going to only do 1/8 of an inch different. So that one was a 4. I'm only going to do a 3 7/8. By 5 1/8. So there's not much of that mint showing. And if I want more, I can always trim more. But it's just a little bit of a border of mint. That's all I want. Okay, so there's that one. Now let's do, my daisy is going to be in the middle of that. Let's do 1/8 of an inch off of that. So let's do 3 3/4 by 5. So it's going to be very fine borders on that card. Then I want this one to be 1/2 inch by 5 1/2. So 5 1/2 there. Let's do 1/2 inch. Now I want to do 5 1/2 here and 1/4 inch. So I'm not using much of this paper, just using a little itty bitty stripe of it, just to give it some detail. Okay, so there's that. I'll put the rest of these back in my scraps. Move my trimmer for the moment. And you never know, I might scrap this whole card if I don't like it. So, we will see. I'll have to play with it. Now, I intend this to be a horizontal card. And I do have letters cut out for Mom. So I want those down here. So I'm just kind of lining up my card, seeing how I want it, because I don't want to glue this down yet. And I'll make sure that these are taped better than what they are laid out right now. I just want to see what this is going to look like. And I just want placement right now. So Mom, so this is a Mother's Day card. And I know my mom will be watching, but this isn't yours. Just so you know. Okay. There's that. Now, the cool thing, so I have some thin cuts already done. This is from one of our new stamp sets that's coming out. Good morning, Shell. This is the Hillside Cottage card making workshop. And the cool thing about this is that Let's see if I can take this little sheet out. So it comes with instructions, but it has step 1, 2, and 3. This is the one I'm going to be using, but you can stamp those different things with different colors. So each one is individual. So this is the leaves. Then you have, there's the leaves that are right in here in step 1. Then you have these big flowers here. That's step 2. That one, and should be a smaller one too, it looks like. Probably this one. And then you have these two, and that's step 3. And those all go on this thin cut. So you can mix match colors, and it's just so fun. So I think I'm going to use this thin cut. I have the other ones cut too, so we'll see. We'll play around with that, but I think I want that up in that corner. Okay, so there's that. Now, I was thinking about introducing some oxide inks onto this white daisy here, but it might be just too much. I haven't decided yet. So I'm going to lay this aside, and I'm going to think about the oxides. So I'm going to put it over here. I'm going to go ahead and ink this. It's really cool thin cut here. So all this is new. I think I'm going to use a 2 by 2. I don't think the 1 by 1 will fit this one. I think it's too little. Yeah, it's too little. So 2 by 2 will fit. 1 by 1 might fit the other. Nope, it's still even too small for the bigger flowers. Okay. So I'm going to be using avocado on this just because I love avocado for leaves. I don't know what it is, but it's the same with like the citrus green marker. That one's one of my favorites too. So this is going to go across like this. Okay, so make sure you know how your thin cut's lined up based on the instructions. There's that one. Okay, get my chamois, wipe it off. Okay, now this one, I don't know, maybe we'll use raspberry for flower color. I have a bunch of neutrals out right now, like more neutrals, and I consider them neutrals because they're like background colors for the card that I'm doing. I kind of want something to stand out, and that's why I'm debating on the Distress Oxide at the bottom. I was thinking about at the bottom. Okay, so now this one is not symmetrical, so just make sure you know that. And I think I got it the way it's supposed to be. There's one leaf that juts out there. I think that's how it's supposed to go. Wipe that one off. Okay, and then there's a little itty bitty flower. That one I'm going to put on my 1 by. Okay, make sure you season your stamps because then you get all that shiny material off. And what that does is if you don't do that, then the ink will bleed up, it'll bead up on it. So maybe let's use Smoothie too. I'll just do some different pinks. And then maybe I'll use a totally different color for those tulips. I don't know yet. There's that cute little flower. That one I don't think it really matters which way it went. On this one anyway. And then now I have those tulips. Maybe I want those in like lemonade or Sundance. Still something vibrant, but not overpowering either. Something fun and light, right? Because we're still in spring. Let's do Sundance. I'm going to do them both the same. And to me, these look a lot. These tulips are kind of the style of the April stamp of the month. That really cute Scandinavian set. These remind me of that. In fact, the whole Hillside Cottage kind of reminds me of that. Okay, season it, ink it, rub, tap, tap, tap. Here's the big one. This is why I bought this workshop, was for this stamp set specifically. This is such a neat stamp set, guys. The other way. Okay. Now on these little guys, I just use my fingers. You could use the back of your hand, but it's really, they're just so small to season them. Rub, tap, 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 and then stamp. And there's my cute little flower bouquet. The cool thing about these flower bouquets is, I don't know if you checked out the blog a couple weeks ago, but it was about embellishment clusters. And this is an all-inclusive embellishment cluster, really. I mean, you could add some leaves into this one, but or some more flowers poking from the back, but really this is an all-inclusive one. I just kind of want to see how this is going to look. I mean, it's very simple. If I want to keep it with a white, so much white, then that's really good. But I kind of want some pop. I think I'm going to put the pop down here in the mom area. So I think I am going to distress it. So let's just put all these aside. Now I have my all-purpose mat underneath this, which is what I distress with. I'm just going to use picked raspberry. Get some pink color. And I'm just going to do this bottom area. Give it a little bit more pizzazz, I guess. If I don't like it, there's a nice clean black back, so I can always flip it over and use the white anyway, right? And even, actually, this is really pretty just with the, looking at it, with just the ballerina, that's very pretty, so I could eliminate this one altogether. But let's go ahead and start. I'll move that because Distress Oxide, I don't know if you guys figured this out, but it gets everywhere if you're not careful. So, and I really don't want all my cards to be inked. Okay, so there's that. Now I need my Tombow. I got new Tombow. Hooray! Okay, let's find the dark side. This is the dark side, so let's now again, this is just going to be a really thin border all the way around the mint. And I cut the mom out of the Simple Serif collection. It's a thin cut, and you can buy just the letters, but I got the thin cut and letters bundle, and I love it. It's a fun one. Now there's going to be a little bit more white as a border. Okay. Now, I'm not going to glue this one on yet because I want to see how this looks. And I may flip it over or I may eliminate it. I may totally eliminate it. I kind of like that ballerina. So it may have been I think I'm going to. I think that was a good mistake there. So This one, I do want Mom to stand up, but these are really too big for that. So I'm going to use my tape, my roll of 3D foam, and I'm just going to cut really small, itty bitty teeny tiny things off of this, because then that way I can put it all the way around these letters. Now I cut them with the light side showing, and that's fine. I usually use the dark side. I wasn't paying attention when I was cutting. But since it's MOM and they're, yeah, it doesn't matter which way they go, then I could always flip it, but I think I'm going to continue to use this, the light side showing. Now if you want to be whimsical, you can always put letters backwards or whatnot too. If I did that, it wouldn't matter because who would know, right? And this is the best thing about these non-stick shears. You can cut this 3D foam without any problem. It sticks to my fingers more than that. And I'm just going to pop it up down here. And I'm going to start on the edge because and work my way that way. That way I can get them all in line and snug them up and they don't look funky. I'll go ahead and trim this one in half, I think. And I can go back around and cut the 3D foam tape that's showing. If I have any showing. Okay, one more on the O. Again, these are really thin little strips. And that's the other thing you could do, is you could play with the different, since our cardstock is double-sided colors, then you could always alternate the colors too, and it would just give it just a slightly different look. Stick to my finger more than the paper, guys. There we go. Okay. So yeah, I don't know if you can see that. See if I can raise my light. But there's a little bit of tape still on there showing through, and I always come in at an angle with my shears. So I'm trimming back into the shape. Instead of a straight up and down cut. So let's do one more. Almost there. There we go. That's that one. This one I'm going to do a little bit like the O. Just going to trim it in half. I think that'll be better. So it sticks to something else. Now, actually that might be pretty good too. Actually, that's what I'm going to leave it at. If you guys get this on something you don't want, that rub and remove eraser will get it off. I have removed 3D foam tape with it before. I did a card for my niece that had it was a motion card. And the embellishment I decided to put on it was a butterfly. It was really cute. And I put it on the wrong side and the motion card would not slide anymore. So I had to take it off, and it removed it just fine. So that was good to know. It's a lesson learned. Good to know that it takes it off too. Okay, I'm just going to glue this down. I'm going to put the dark side up on this one. Nice simple border. Okay, there's that one. I wanted it to go all the way across. And this guy I'm going to put up with 3D foam as well, but I think I like the simplicity of this one. And this one I'm going to use my scraps from shakers. And I have lots more shakers to make, so you'll see lots more of these here soon. I got shakers that arrived yesterday. Thank goodness. Ran out. Okay, so there's my simple Mother's Day card. Now, there was one other stamp that I was thinking about doing on this. And it is a "You are," or "You're the best," and then "Mom." That's what I was thinking. So I'm going to peel that off. This is the May stamp of the month last year. But there is a "You are the best" in the new, here it is, it's right here, if you guys can, I don't know if this is focusing or not, but "You're the best" is right there as well, and this is that Hillside Cottage set. So there it is. It's tiny, it's good. This one's just fancy, fancy. And I may put that right above there. I'm just going to play around with it for a minute, see if I really want it. And if I do, then I may put it right in the middle. That way it kind of stair steps down the card. And in fact, I think I might do that. Get a different block. There it is. There's the block I was looking for. It's still not long enough. I have to use my longer one. And I think I'm going to do that in Peacock. Keep a Peacock theme. If you haven't noticed, Peacock is one of my favorite colors. Okay, and then I just make sure that I don't have any smudges on my block. I didn't put a foam underneath, so we'll see how this turns out. I may have to do something different to cover it up. That looks just fine. Thank goodness. You're the best, Mom. So there's my Mother's Day card for one of the many mothers in my life. Not my mother. She won't get to see her card on video. Sorry, Mom. Alright, we will see you guys on Saturday for a scrapbook, Scrap Your Stash. And you guys have an awesome week. Thanks for joining me. Bye.